Before this story begins, if you're someone who enjoys true horror, real accounts, and stories that are too disturbing to be fiction, make sure you subscribe. Because the stories shared on this channel, they don't come from imagination. They come from places most people never return from. And once this story starts, you may not want to pause it. Before I tell you any of this, I need you to understand something, that I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm not asking you to think I'm sane. I'm just asking you to listen, because what I'm about to tell you isn't something that goes into a report. It's not something that gets archived. It's the kind of truth that stays between people who work the land, and the ones who patrol it when the sun goes down. My name is Elias Redcrow. I'm a tribal police officer on Blackfeet land in northwestern Montana. I've worn this badge for 6 years. And in that time, I've learned something most people never will. Out here, there are 2 sets of rules. The first set is what they teach you at the academy. Procedures. Codes. Radio protocol. Chain of command. Those rules keep you employed. The second set of rules, they don't come from any academy. They don't get written in manuals, they get passed down. Officer to officer. Generation to generation. Printed on a laminated yellow sheet that hangs in our station break room. Cracked. Faded. Still legible. Those rules keep you alive. I didn't believe in them when I started. I thought they were jokes. Hazing. Campfire horror stories meant to scare new recruits. Everyone thinks that. The ones who keep thinking that, end up in reports that never get filed. Before you decide this is just another scary story, understand this: every rule I'm about to talk about exists because someone ignored it and died. Every whistle. Every shadow. Every warning passed down in whispers. They were all learned the hard way. And if you've ever driven through mountains at night, if you've ever felt like the dark was watching you back, stay with me. Because what hunts on this land doesn't care if you believe in it. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why some roads were never meant to be driven after sunset. Before you decide this is just another horror story, let me tell you this: every rule I'm about to share, it exists because someone died ignoring it. Every whistle you hear. Every shadow you see. Every warning you think is superstition. Someone didn't listen. And if you've ever driven through the mountains at night, if you've ever felt like the trees were watching you, stay with me, because what hunts out here doesn't care if you believe in it, and by the end of this story, you'll understand why some lands were never meant to be explored after dark. The Blackfeet Reservation covers nearly 1.5 million acres. To the west, the Rocky Mountain front rises straight out of the plains. No warning. No gradual slope. Just mountains exploding out of the earth like they were shoved up from below. They loom. They watch. Grasslands stretch east. Forests fill the valleys. Rivers cut through rock older than memory, and in between all of that, there are things that don't fit into language. Things the elders talk about in half-finished sentences. Things the mountains don't destroy, they contain. That I'm telling you this because something happened 3 weeks ago. Something that made me realize the rules aren't just about survival. They're about balance. And that balance is breaking. Full retelling of the abandoned vehicle, whistling, Megan Cole incident, expanded pacing, added silence beats, radio static moments, breathing pauses, wind ambience. Content continues with detailed, slow-burn retelling of Cutbank Creek event, including whistling described as too intentional, shadow movement, and rules being quoted verbatim. They ruled at exposure. They always do. They didn't mention the fingertips worn to bone. They didn't mention the way her legs were twisted like she tried to run uphill, fast. They didn't mention the fact that no predator tracks were found near the body, because predators don't hunt like that. Livestock mutilation reports aren't unusual out here. But this one was wrong. 3 cows. No blood. No wounds, just terror locked into muscle, eyes frozen open. Jaws stretched like something scared the sound out of them, and those tracks again, always circling. Never touching, like whatever it was, didn't need to. Leonard Spotted Eagle didn't ask us what animal did it. He already knew. He asked something worse. Is it happening again? That night, I finally read the laminated sheet all the way through. Rules they don't teach. Never follow whistles. Never respond to voices calling your name from the trees. Never pursue after sundown, no matter who's screaming. If you see something watching from the ridge, do not acknowledge it. If the mountains go quiet, leave immediately. And the last rule. The one written darker than the others, if it crosses the river, call the elders. Not dispatch. 3 more incidents. Missing hunters. Animals found standing upright in death, whistling reported near homes. And the mountains, they stopped feeling like walls, they started feeling like doors. I don't know why the balance is breaking. Maybe too many roads. Too many cameras. Too many people walking where they were never meant to. All I know is this. The rules worked. When there were fewer of them. And now. Now the mountains are letting more through. If you ever find yourself on a lonely road near the Blackfeet Reservation, and you hear whistling from the trees, don't answer, don't look, and whatever you do, don't follow the sound. Because some rules exist for a reason. And some warnings come too late.